Hi, thank you for attending the Betavine Social Exchange session this morning at OTA 09. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself and your background?
Sure. My name is Iris Lapinski. I'm currently doing work for an organization called CDI, which stands for Center for Digital Inclusion. I've just recently finished a 4-month feasibility study to see whether CDI should launch in the UK. CDI was set up in 1995 in Brazil by a guy called Rodrigo Baggio, focusing on digital inclusion and helping people in deprived, poor areas in Brazil to use technology to make their lives better and for social change. CDI has trained about 1.3 million people now and runs about 750 community-based centers, always in partnership with existing local community organizations. So what we want to do now is to use that successful model. CDI has won quite a lot of awards from the Skoll Foundation, Ashoka, Vina, World Bank, Clinton Global Initiative, etc. To make that work in the UK in quite a different technology context and quite a different social context as well, but to use the same principles.
And what was your thoughts when you heard about the Betavine Social Exchange?
As I said, the thing we're currently looking at is how mobile phone applications can actually be applied to social problems that go beyond the existing group of early adopters, high-income individuals who use sort of high-end phones. And I think what happened with mobile phones before as well, you had a specific focus on business applications, on high-income applications, how to make that available to the bottom of the pyramid. CDI very much in Latin America operates at the bottom of the pyramid. What we want to test in the UK is to use those more expensive phones in a different context with the objective to create a model that we can actually then bring back to other countries at the bottom of the pyramid as well. So that's why the concept of Betavine and what Betavine wants to test in South Africa as quite an interesting country, which is at the same time very advanced on mobile phone applications, but at the same time developing on quite a lot of social and health issues and education issues. I just found that very interesting, and Betavine hasn't launched yet, so we'll see what the real challenges are. But I think in terms of concept and bringing different players together, many successful initiatives actually, most of that what they do is just connecting people, connecting different groups of people and creating bridging social capital. That's where you can get quite quickly scale and extreme leverage. So that's why I find Betavine extremely interesting.
And you mentioned earlier social entrepreneurs. Would you like to say a little bit more about that?
Sure. I've been doing quite a lot of research in the UK to find community organizations that sort of fulfill CDI criteria of partnerships, and a very strong focus of CDI is to find people who are entrepreneurial in their thinking while focusing on social problems. And my experience has been that in the social sector there are different people who have different ways of thinking about it. And there's quite a big difference whether people think more commercially, entrepreneurially to solve social problems, or think more about from administrating problems or running the organizations in an existing environment. So for me, the most inspiring people are people who very much care about the problems they want to solve and the people they want to help, without being ideologically sort of having any sort of preconceptions about what should be done and how it should be done, but just being open about solving a problem. And if it means to have a hybrid model between being a commercial enterprise and a social initiative, then they do it. If it's easier to do it purely based on charitable objective, they would do it. Or if it's purely commercial and that works best and they can scale it and they can maintain it best, they would just do that as well. So the type of people we're looking at are people who are open-minded about operating models, but very determined about sort of solving social problems.
Right. And what do you see as the key challenges for the Betavine Social Exchange as it launches in South Africa?
As I said, I think there are very different debates around different groups of people. So when you focus on, as I said, the NGO or social entrepreneurship community, you have different even languages around that than when you look at developers or you look at partners who can support that. And I think the biggest challenge will be to sort of address audiences in an effective way in all of those fields, and to create the linkages. And it might be that my conception is there are actually not that many people who can easily bridge different communities quickly. So it'll be key to find individuals who are basically enthusiasts and also view ambassadors across those communities. Apart from technical challenges, so I leave sort of those sort of technical things outside, but I think in terms of making networks work is to get traction and get support and testing out things quite small before sort of scaling that up. But I think it'll take a while to get traction, but doesn't mean that it can't work or it shouldn't work. And I think South Africa there's a very good reason why it'd be a very interesting country to start off with.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Welcome.